Hi guys, this is Bill from Spencer1984.com with another update to the Simpsons family sedan. And although it doesn't look like I've done a whole lot since the last update, I have gone through and cleaned everything up and added a whole new layer of gray filler putty to it. And I've also added these fillers down here and done some rescribing of the door lines so that those are now full and the right depth on all four doors. A little more filling in the front corners. And it's kind of at that stage of putty and fill and putty and fill and putty and fill and putty and fill ad nauseum. Last time I looked at it, I did not show that the engine was actually pretty much complete. That's built box stock as per the Cadillac kit, because that seemed like an appropriate engine for this. Chassis is the same way, totally box stock, except for the wheels, which were out of my parts box. I am going to be doing a little more painting to the fuel tank and adding some weathering to it. So this isn't quite finished, but it's done as far as the base colors go. And I've also got a little bit done as far as starting the interior. I've got it primed, and I've started to take a look at what I'll be using of the kit, which is going to be the front and rear seats. And I'm going to be using the door panels as patterns. I'll be cutting those out of plastic and making my own so that the pattern is closer to what we see in the show. Dashboard is probably going to have to be fully scratch built if I want it to look anything like the series, because that was just totally made up. It wasn't really even consistent throughout the entire series. But what I'm kind of going for, both for color and for some of the details, is I'm going to be using the Simpsons hit and run game as my base, in part because that was relatively recent, and the biggest changes to the animation style all came early on in the Simpsons' career. By the time the game came out, they had things pretty much down pat. And also the game is kind of a fully realized version of the car. They couldn't really shortcut through things like they could with the animated series. But at any rate, like I said, just a quick update here because it's at the point where there's a lot of work, but not really a whole lot to show for it until it gets in the first primer coat, which I was actually hoping to have by this point, but the last week has been so humid that almost all painting has been off the table. So hopefully by next week I'll have this in primer, and I'll be able to see what more needs to be done on it. So be sure to check back then. Thanks for watching.